shocker that the Italian people thought that somebody who says, you know what, it's okay to be Italian. And you don't have to apologize for being Italian. And you don't have to constantly supplicate and lay your feet or lay down in prostration at the overlords in Brussels and stuff like that. And that we can govern our own affairs here in Italy. With that being said, David, Culture Corner.
Sir.
You mentioned something named Giorgia Meloni?
Yes.
What happened with her?
Giorgia Meloni. Apparently she's a conservative member or a member of the Conservative Party in Italy. And apparently they are up in arms about a conservative winning is it a presidency?
It's prime minister.
Democracy was kind of formed over there. You think that they'd have
that would be Greece, but you're close.
Rome was a republic.
But yes, she won a plurality of the vote, 43%. Now, according to the establishment media in the United States and around the world, apparently 43% is a fringe group, right? Because she's fringe, she has fringe views, she's just an all-around terrible, evil person, and pretty much the reincarnation of Mussolini, and you should be terrified, citizen. That's the general kind of room temperature IQ take that you'll get from the New York Times or people sitting in high places at the European Union, et cetera, et cetera. Now, David and I have some thoughts on this and, the hypocrisy of going so vigorously after Meloni and castigating her in such a way, because let's just start out right off the top and just play the whole gender / demographic politics that they enjoy playing so much and point out that this is a victory for women everywhere, because when she takes office, she will be the first ever female prime minister of Italy.
Yay!
That's something to celebrate,
Progress!
Right? So, and to that, I have to say the wailing and gnashing of teeth about Meloni, which we'll get to some of her positions a little bit later, but the screaming from the rooftops about how terrible it is that her party won a plurality of the vote is kind of odd, right? Because I always hear from progressives, and this is especially the subset of progressives, the more feminist-leaning ones. You'll always hear these little memes that float around where they say something like, well, men have been running the world for a long time, and look where we are. It's pretty terrible. If women ruled the world, we probably wouldn't have any war. Poverty wouldn't exist. It's time for women to take power. We heard a lot of this in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. That's why the fact that she was a woman was at least 50%, if not 51% of the reason why you needed to vote for her. And the fact that you didn't probably makes you some sort of misogynist.
I'm pretty sure they forgot about Marie Antoinette.
Well, she wasn't calling the shots. Well, it was still the king. But the point is that, yes, as historically illiterate as it is to say that there's never been female leaders in all of history, again, that's just factually incorrect. But taking them at face value, and they claim that, well, if there were more women calling the shots, that the world would be fantastic. Yet it is a lot of these very same people that when Italy gets its first female prime minister, she is a fascist, she is far
Nazi?
right, she's terrible.
Nazi?
Well,
is she Nazi?
Again, these people are historical illiterates. So again, linking Nazism implicitly and explicitly with fascism is not accurate. But without getting into the weeds too much, yes, that's kind of what they're getting at.
Okay.
They want to not just invoke images of Mussolini, but also Hitler.
We don't want to bring up our dark past, but we want to make sure that this person is that dark past that we're referring to.
Right. Now, the outrage over Meloni getting elected in Italy makes a little bit more sense when you peel the couple layers of the onion back and realize these people for who they are, who David and I point out all the time. And what I mean by these people, I mean progressives, things like that, is that for all of their...
What the hell you mean, these people?
Yeah, those people. Is for all their flowery rhetoric about diversity and inclusion and equality and all of these high ideals that they want to the nth degree, as long as it winds up with them being in power, is that they don't give a damn about equality. They don't give a damn about diversity if what we're talking about is opinion. They want absolute, hook, line, and sinker, lockstep, you have to have the same opinions on everything as them. And it doesn't matter if you're a woman or if you're from some other allegedly marginalized group. If you don't have that level of groupthink that they require, then all of that diversity goes out the window. Wherever you place in the oppression Olympics doesn't matter because you have the wrong opinions. And anybody who, thinks that your opinions aren't so crazy is, persona non grata right along with you. So once again, it's only a couple layers of the onion to realize that these people are utterly and completely full of shit. But it just comes out when they attack Meloni, despite her checking a lot of other, feminist progressive bells and whistles. The fact that she says the wrong things or has the wrong opinions, well, then the rest of it just goes by the wayside.
Well, just to harken on to that lockstep, believing everything, the cool thing about believing everything that they say is that every day it fucking changes. It moves further down that path of progressivism. It progresses down the path of progressivism. So you will never actually, like to steal a phrase from everybody that's ever said it, you'll never be woke enough. Tomorrow you'll have to be more woke. And then you'll have to be more woke the next day and the next day. And eventually you can't keep up with the inevitable march to your own doom. And eventually you fall back and then all of a sudden you're canceled because you're not woke enough. Because you said the wrong pronoun at the wrong time to the wrong thing.
Absolutely. It's not worth pulling my hair out over the election of Giorgia Meloni in Italy. Makes me probably fascist adjacent. As a matter of fact, the fact that I am a straight white male sitting here in a vest and tie.
Why should we even have an opinion?
Fascist, so.
We shouldn't even have an opinion.
We're clearly not entitled to one.
No. Fuck us.
But let's get into why there is so much outrage. Because again, unless you're following Italian politics, which again, to be fair,
super advocate,
we had to do our research on.
Can't get enough of it.
On this topic to at least bring you the bare bones of the situation, of what's going on. Because believe me, it is deeper than what we're just going to discuss in these couple minutes. Let's just get into some of the viewpoints that Meloni has, some of her policy positions that has progressives pulling their hair out about her winning in Italy. So she is very pro-family. She encourages people to have children as opposed to this movement that children are terrible and that human beings are a blight on planet Earth and need to stop procreating. She's very pro-Italian over non-Italians that don't act in the interest of Italians. So, for example, EU globalists who want everything to be done the way the EU wants it to be done, even if it harms Italians, she's not in favor of that. And I mean, shocker, right? Absolute shocker that the Italian people would look around and say, I don't think some of these interest groups that are outside of Italy and don't have to live under our living conditions, they don't seem to be making our lives too much better. I think I'm going to go with the lady who says that she wants to help us and who actually has direct control over us as one of our elected representatives, not somebody sitting off 1,000 miles away in Brussels. I think she'll be popular in this country. Shocker that the Italian people thought that somebody who says, you know what, it's okay to be Italian. And you don't have to apologize for being Italian. And you don't have to constantly supplicate and lay your feet or lay down in prostration at the overlords in Brussels and stuff like that. And that we can govern our own affairs here in Italy.